Hello, my name is Chris Cordova. I'm the Financial Wellness Coordinator with Foundation Communities. Today we're going to be talking about managing money during a pandemic. Now, during this presentation, we're going to talk about how disasters can affect finances. Some of the ways that they can affect finances is by costs of meeting immediate needs, what your new needs are now in your new reality, ongoing costs of items that you need, what may have the items that you need now may be different. So you have to kind of now figure out how you're going to be able to purchase those. Protecting yourself against identity theft and also identifying scams that you may be have to be aware of now that you're may possibly be approached during this new disaster time. And you're going to go ahead and look at ways to access other financial resources and penalties of missing payments and also possibility of a job loss. So we're going to take a look at 4 items when it comes to steps to financial recovery. The first item is going to be housing. The second is going to be income and jobs. Your third is your bills and your expenses and how you're going to maintain those. And the fourth is by protecting your money. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and talk about is going to be housing. Now, you want to continue making payments to your landlord. That should be your first priority. If you're unable to do that, you need to go ahead and contact your property manager or property staff, informing them that you need assistance of paying rent right away. So if you're having a hard time figuring all that information out, you want to go ahead and set up an appointment with Foundation Communities Financial Coaching Program to find community organizations who can help you with rent or utility payments. While doing that, you also want to be able to locate paperwork that community organizations are going to need in order to assist you. That's going to consist of your pay stubs, possibly your lease, and other information that's going to be useful for these organizations to help you out. Now we're going to take a look at bills and expenses. So ultimately, you want to continue paying your bills. Go ahead and contact your financial institutions, let them know of your new situation, possible job loss, or maybe you haven't had access to your home in a while. You want to contact your creditors to also let them know of what your current situation is looking like, and also if you're going to be late on making current payments. Keep records of what you spend because you want to make sure that you can go back to all the items and where your money went and on what date you wrote those checks or you used your debit card. All those day-to-day things are very important. And you also want to access assistance programs via county or city organizations. These are organizations that are going to be set up that possibly received federal funding to assist individuals in your situation. We're now looking at your income and your jobs. During this time, there may have been a loss of income or reduction of income because you may not have had access to going to your job as you did before a disaster or before the pandemic. So you want to make sure that you're keeping contact with your employer, making sure what the status of your current situation is. Contact your benefits providers or a human resource individual at your employer's office just to make sure what is going on and what are the steps they're taking and what you have access to. You may have been paying into some type of disability funds, so you want to make sure you know how to navigate your way through those. Keep track of the days that of work that you lost. During the storm, a lot of people lost up to 2 weeks worth of work during the pandemic. And so you need to be able to track those dates, especially if you're going to be making any state claims or federal claims, or if you're going to be paid back for those days that you missed. If you have any disabilities and you use an animal for assistance or any assistive technology, maybe some hearing devices, you want to make sure that those are up and running You want to contact your disability or insurance provider, possibly make sure that your health insurance is up to date. And you want to also be able to explore to see if you are eligible for any public benefits, such as the SNAP program, food stamps, any unemployment, the medical assistance program, or a Medicare program. See what you are eligible for because these programs can be useful. You also want to contact schools to find out the days that they're still going to remain open, and financial aid offices to find out if you're eligible to pay any loans back at a later time, or if there's any type of forgiveness for individuals experiencing tough times during the pandemic or disasters. Now, we're going to talk about protecting your money, and this is important. You want to get and review your credit scores and any reports that may be going on there. You want to contact your financial institutions. These are going to be your banks, your lenders, and your credit card. You want to keep them aware of all the things that you are experiencing, if you have a job loss or if you're going to make any late payments. You also want to find a safe place for your financial information, your cash and other valuables in the home. You want to make sure that you exactly know where those items are at all times. Now, be proactive if issues occur. If there are any discrepancies or you notice that there is any loss, you want to first contact the company directly, make them aware of the issue. Then, if needed, contact the regulatory agency. Consider filing a complaint with the state regulator's office or attorney general's office if there is a business that you think that you've done any fraudulent work with, or has done any misrepresentation of your information, or has done that didn't do a good job on any repair work that you had hired them to do. Now, you want to avoid scams at this point, because during the pandemic, during disasters, these are high times that people have experienced being prey to scams and scam artists. Get and check references of any businesses that you're going to contact. Ask to see a state or local permits. Make sure that they are regulated and licensed. Don't pay anything up front. You want to make sure that you pay for the work once it's completed. A lot of individuals have paid for services up front, and then the contractor was nowhere to be found. So you want to protect yourself and pay them after the work has been completed. Get and keep receipts as often as you can. You want to keep track of the dates that the individual worked, how much you paid them, and keeping your records together. And don't pay for services that should be free. This kind of comes during such situation as credit building or credit fixing organizations out in the community. You can come to a nonprofit that can assist you with that type of work for free. Now, we're going to go ahead and give you some tips for other ways to avoid scams. Definitely research the organizations you are not familiar with. Protect your information. Do not give out any personal social security numbers or bank account information. Monitor your credit reports. Make sure everything there is what you're familiar with, and that you were the one that did those items that you might find on your credit report. And read any scam alerts or scam reports. Do some Google searches, listen to the news, find out if there are any organizations that are doing any illegitimate work, and make sure that you avoid hiring those organizations. To continue on the scams, not everyone who offers help is legitimate. They're not always a legitimate source of help. Protect yourself by being cautious and be selective when you hire or accept help. Now that you're in this new situation of being in a pandemic, you want to start adjusting your financial picture after the disaster. So it's important to take time to grieve and get used to your new reality. What you had experienced is now new. You're living in a changed world. So you have to go ahead and adjust to that. Review and adjust your new spending and savings plan. If there was a job loss or job reduction, you're not making the same amount of money, you have to go ahead and correct that and start planning for that. Go ahead and contact your lenders once again. Contact your financial institutions, inform them of any changes that might have gone on. Get and review that credit report and set the new goals and make plans to reach them. Now remember, the key takeaway: develop an initial plan to recover financially from a disaster and watch out for any scams. Now it's time to take action. Go ahead and ask yourself, what will I do? How will I do it? And will I share my plans with anyone? If so, who? If there are some trusted friends and family members who you think are going to definitely be able to assist you with this, go ahead and let them know of what your new plan is, what your new financial plans are, what your new financial goals are, and also check in with them to make sure that you are being successful with the plan that you have set aside for yourself. So my name is Chris Cordova. Once again, I'm with Foundation Communities. If you'd like to set up a financial coaching appointment, you can give us a call at 737-717-4000. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again in some other videos.